Good evening, guys. Guys, give me a green check if I am audible and clear. If I'm loud and clear, please give me a green check. Good evening. Okay, fine. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay, should we get started? Hey, yesterday many people were there. Okay, today only half of them have joined. Okay. Guys, did you download the file for today? Okay. So day 4's file, you people can download. Kumar, you go ahead and download, Kumar. It's been already told you people, right, how to download. So go ahead, okay, download. I'll give you a minute for you people to download. Okay, meanwhile, we'll solve yesterday's query, right? So yesterday I had given you assignment, right? Okay, so this was the one which we were supposed to discuss today. Am I right? Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay. Is my screen visible? Okay. So total number of students, how many? Total number of students, how many? Yesterday we discussed about count, count A, count blank, count if function, right? So I told you, go ahead and solve this, okay? So I hope all of you have solved this. Yes. So what's the answer here? Total number of students? Okay, 24. Good. So appeared? $16, is it? Okay, absent? Present Lakshmi, you give me the formulas later on. Okay, now you just give me the output. Okay, so absent how many? 5. I think 5 is right. Okay, so 24 minus 5 should be, what is 24 minus 5? 19. So this should be 19. Hey, when did 24 minus 5 become 16 here? Sarvesh? Srinath? 5 absent. Withheld is how many? Withheld is not 19. Withheld is 3, I guess. Okay. Pass? Pass? 15. Fail? Fail 1. Okay, fine. So we'll see how to, what formulas. Okay, now you can, guys, give me the formula. So total number of students, how many? What's the formula for total number of students? Which function I should use? You can use count A against the names. Okay. Now suppose I want to see the formula. Here, when I tell enter, I get the output, right? I don't want the output. I just want to see the formula. There are multiple ways of doing it. Okay, one method is you can start with a single quote. Anything other than equal to, you can start. Okay, I can give a single quote. This is one method. Okay, so when I tell enter, you can see the formula is visible. Or I can also give a space. So before equal to, just give a space. Now you can see, you can view the formula. Or you can also do one more thing. Double click is just for the time being. Okay, permanently it will not show you. One more thing you can do is you can format these as text. The moment you format it as text, okay, it will not show you the output, but it will show you whatever you typed in. So if you want to format this as text, you can select it, right click, and you can tell format cells, and you can use text here. Format cells, you can use text. Now this is formatted as a text, so whatever I enter, it will be visible as it is. So suppose you want to enter some leading zeros for your numbers, then you can convert that into a text. If you want to enter your phone numbers, generally some phone numbers start with zeros, right? Or some phone numbers will start with +91, the country code and all that stuff. So if you want to enter them, you can convert into a text. So you will be able to see that +91, okay, zero, leading zero and all that stuff. Now here I want to see the formula as it is. I don't want the output, so I've converted into a text. Appeared is people who are not absent are present. So one, you can tell count plus count blank, or another method is you can tell who are not absent. So you can use a function called as countif, open the bracket. The first thing is your range, comma. You can tell not equal to absent. You write not equal to like that in Excel. Okay, so when you close your bracket, okay, those people who are not equal to absent are present. Now you can see when I tell enter, okay, I don't get the output, but I see the formula as it is. Yadav, within a day or two, you might receive the reply, Yadav. Okay, absent is which function you can use? You can tell countif, selected, criteria is absent. You don't have to tell equal to absent. Okay, equal to is your default operator, so you can just use absent. Yeah, withheld, which function you use? What's the function for withheld? Count blank. Good. Good, Atishay. So you can tell count blank. Somebody has, okay, I'll just copy the formula. Control C, Control V. So this formula is given me by Srinath. Yeah, pass. Somebody can give me the formula for pass. Okay. So countif greater than or equal to 35 is pass. Similarly for fail, okay, it is less than 35. So I can just go and change this to less than 35. Right? Okay. So should we continue with today's session coverage? Shall we proceed, guys? Okay. So today we will talk about pivot tables and filters. Okay. First, I will talk about filters, but then we'll go in with pivot tables. Sarvesh, you have to give double quotes for greater than or equal to 35. No space after greater than. Here. Okay, this entire thing should be within double quotes. Your criteria should be within double quotes. A, appeared will come 22. No ways. So I'll just tell Control C. Okay, I'll put it here. Just let me remove this. This is a text, I guess. I'll change the format. Format cells. I'll make it as general. I'll tell OK. Now double click and tell enter. Hey. It's general only, right? So it is 19. It's not 22. Danish. Okay, so today we will talk about filters and pivot tables. Okay, today will be the last day for Excel. I'm sure all of you know filters, right? Why do we use filters? What do you mean by last cell, Tushar? You mean fail? 19 is this appeared. Okay, I just copied this formula here. Count No, count blank also you should use appeared. Count blank is also appeared. Okay, what is filters? Why do we use filters? Yeah, filters are removing unwanted records from the database. See, for example, here, okay, I have a data here. This is an employee data what I have. Now, I may not be interested in all the data. If I'm interested only in accounts department, then I can use a filter. Hey, no, 21 is not appeared, Manohar. 19 is appeared. Go and check your formula. Okay, now coming back to filters. What's a shortcut key to do filters? What's the shortcut key to do filters? Okay, what's a shortcut key to do filters? Do you guys know about shortcut keys? Okay, one you can do Control Shift L. No, Control F is not there. You can do Control Shift L. Okay, that is one shortcut key. Or you can also tell Alt DFF. Okay, now most of you don't know about shortcut keys, right? So I'll tell you about shortcut keys. Okay, just listen to me. Now, I want to find out what is the shortcut key for filters. I know filters is under data. So under my data, I have filters. One method, I can just click on the filter here. Okay, so I get this filter here. Right? This is you get a drop down. This is your filter. If you want to remove a filter, you can just go to data and you can just click uncheck this filter. Now you can see it removes. But suppose I want to find out the shortcut key. Okay, if at all I want to find out the shortcut key for filters, then probably what you can do, I know filters are there under data tab. So click on the data tab. When you hover your cursor on the filter, now you can see it shows you the shortcut key. If at all it has got a shortcut key, it will show you the shortcut key. Now the shortcut key is supposed to be Control plus Shift plus L. But just observe, suppose I hover my cursor on sorting. Is it showing any shortcut key here? No, right? It is not showing you any shortcut key. That doesn't mean sort cannot be done with shortcut keys. Okay, it is possible. So let us find out the shortcut keys for all the tools here. Now, if at all, along with whatever shortcut keys it shows there, okay, when you hover your cursor there, it shows you some shortcut keys, right? Apart from that, these shortcut keys also can be used. Now, suppose you want to find out the shortcut keys, just press Alt from your keyboard. So the moment you press Alt from your keyboard, now you can see it shows you the shortcut keys for all the levels. Now for file, it is F. For home, it is H. For insert, it is N. Similarly, for data, it is A. Okay. So shortcut key for data is Alt A. Now, from my keyboard, when I press A, for the data, the shortcut key is A, right? So from my keyboard, when I press A, now you can see it shows you shortcut keys for all the levels under your data. So what is it for filter? It is T here. Mean to tell Alt AT for filter. Similarly, for sort, it is Alt ASS. A for data. Alt A for data. Okay, SS is for sort. So Alt ASS is for sorting. Alt AT for filter. Similarly, yesterday we did data validation, right? So it is Alt AV for data validation. So likewise, you can find any shortcut keys and start using them. So I have given you encyclopedia of shortcut keys. Go and enjoy. Only those commands which you're using very frequently, probably you can by heart them. Okay. Alt, you have to click Alt. Okay, so the moment you press Alt, you can see it shows you the top level shortcut keys. Now, if you want to see the shortcut keys, okay, below formula, it is M. So from the keyboard, when you press M, it shows you all the shortcut keys, okay, for the tabs which are there under your formulas. Now we know that, okay, it's awesome. So now we know that, okay, Alt AT is for filters, right? So the moment I press Alt AT, now you can see you get a drop down here. Okay. No, I'm not interested in all the departments. I'm only interested in certain departments. I just want only accounts department. In that case, you get a drop down here. Okay. So just get a drop down here, okay, in the headers here. So click on the drop down. Now you can see these are all the unique values which are there in that particular column. Now you can deselect everything. Just click on accounts. And when you tell OK, you can see only accounts records are displayed here. Now suppose along with accounts records, I want executives also. I want account executive. Executive is a designation, right? So you can click on the designation here. You can deselect everything. Just select executive here. And when you tell OK, now you can see accounts executives here. Similarly, you can just go on using the filters on any column. Now suppose, okay, you want to know which are the columns which has got filters. Now you can see there is a different icon here, right? So you can see this icon is different from this. The moment you see this filter icon, that means, okay, you have created a filter based on this particular column. And if you want to remove a filter based on one column, then probably you can click on this icon here, and then you can tell clear filters from designation. This will clear the filters only from designation. Now, suppose you want to clear from everything. Okay, I want to clear from all the columns which I have created. Then you can go to data, and here you have something called as clear. This clear, okay, will remove the filters from all the columns. So it removed department also, it removed designation also. Amit, this is day 4 sheet, okay? You have to download from your LMS. Yesterday, day before yesterday, they taught you how to download, right? The same method you should go and download. This is day 4 ka sheet. It's called as day4.excelx. Okay, now it is there. Under day 4, you should go and check Excel. Okay, now apart from these, okay, this check, click, 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 click. Apart from this, click, click, click. See, okay, YSJK has shared. Amit, he shared. Okay, you can download that. Now you can go to text filters. Rahul also has shared. Okay, you can download. Or you can go to text filters and you can see lots of operators here. So you can make use of these operators and you can get the output. So equals, does not equals, begins with, ends with. Okay, using these operators, you can also create a filters. And we do have something called as custom filter. Okay, if you have more than one criteria, you can use custom filter. So the moment I click on custom filter, it opens up a dialog box here. Okay, here you can see there are lots of operators, much more than what you can see there. So you can make use of these operators and you can build a logic. And here you can have two criteria. You can have criteria 1, criteria 2, and you can combine the criteria with either and or. And is used when both the conditions has to be satisfied. Only if both these conditions are satisfied, it will list out the records. You can also use or. When you use or, if either of these conditions are true, then it will list out those records. Okay. Now, when it comes to numbers, no click, click, click here. Okay, you're not supposed to do clicking here. Generally, numbers, okay, is infinite, right? We have many numbers. So in such a scenario, you have to go to number filters, use these operators. Based on the output of this operator, you can get the output. Okay. Yeah, Mohan, what do you want me to repeat? Okay, so that's about your filters. I want you people to go ahead and try these exercises. Okay, and not everything is possible through your auto filters. Okay, there are certain things which you can't do. After this, okay, you're going to tell me what are the things which is not possible, and you're going to give me the limitations of auto filters. Okay, so go ahead, try them out. Do one exercise, then you can remove the filter and you can do the next one. Okay, so I'll give you 10 minutes to complete this. Text filters like this, you can go to text filters. You have lots of operators here. Okay, so you can use that, and you also have a custom filter for more than one criteria. So when you use custom filter, you can use two criteria and you can combine the criteria with either and or. And is used when both the conditions has to be satisfied, or is used when either of the condition has to be satisfied. Okay, yeah, try it out. Yeah, Rahul, what is your doubt? What now function in a cell, then I used some function in the same cell. A sum and then what? Put your function into the chat box, Syed. Okay. Shortcut key is Control Shift L, Alt DFF, anything you can use. Or means even if one of the condition is true, it will list out the records. Text filters are used. Using these operators, you can get the output. Equals something. Suppose I want, instead of clicking here, you can tell equals accounts or does not equal account. Begins with A, ends with something. Contains, does not contain, these things. Let me look up if I'm changing the data. No, it works, Rahul. So Syed, what do you have in J6 to J11? So whatever you have, it gives you the output. So what is it you are seeing, Syed? Go ahead and try this, guys. Syed, what is the output you are seeing? What are the values you have from J6 to J11? Okay. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what is the output you are getting? Change the format, Syed. You tell right click, format cells, and make it as general. Understood, Syed? Okay. Rahul, you are changing the data validation, is it? What change you are doing in data validation, Rahul? Yeah, you can, Abdul. You are supposed to do a filter, Manohar. These are the questions, okay? So you are supposed to read that question and then go into the filters based on this. If you want to clear all the filters, go to data and you have clear here. You have an option which tells clear here. No, you have to do one filters. After getting the output, you can remove the filters and then do the next one. If you're not able to do certain things, you leave it for the time being, go to the next one and then do. And okay, not everything is possible through your auto filters. By these exercises, you are also going to learn what is possible and what is not possible. You are going to learn the limitations also. What is not working, Rahul? How do I check, Rahul? Yeah, this is for which one? This formula is for which one, Rahul? Okay, it is right. So what is the output you are getting? 30. Yeah. 1 minute, Rahul. Let me copy, okay, your formula. Here, this one is it. Here, look up if you want basic salary. 2 is nothing but your age. If you want basic, you have to tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Type 5 here. Instead of 2, make it as 5. Okay. Yeah, guys, you were telling that, okay, you're not getting any mails and all that stuff, right? So you can see the link there to register. Ramya has sent you a link. Okay, just go and register in case if you're not registered. Where are you using data validation, Rahul, here? No, if you use data validation, it doesn't work here. You have to do some more things there. Gunavanta, it will not be possible for me to repeat everything from start, Gunavanta. Okay, so if you missed out something, probably you can go back and check the recordings. Almost, okay, 25 hours, 25 minutes of session we have covered. All the 25 minutes, I will not be able to do it. Okay, so maybe you can just wait for some more time so that the new topic will start. Okay, whatever you missed out, you can just go and check the recording. However you want to see, okay. Thakur, it's Anna, okay, Thakur, any which way you want to see, you just do. Okay, based on that, okay, you have to do the filters. So here it doesn't matter whether it is 1, 2 or okay, 12, 11. Okay. Hey, here about 2 means yes, more than 2, greater than 2. The second question you're asking, right? It is greater than 2. Yeah, it is. Shabazz, go and download, yeah. Guys, one of you send that file to Shabazz, na? Okay, so are you able to do everything? We'll speak about that, okay? So how do you go? How do you? Okay, is it possible for you to do everything? Were you able to do everything? A fifth one is possible, yeah. Fifth one is possible. Guys, those people claim that, okay, you finished everything. Is it possible for you to do everything? Okay, 10th one. Yeah. So Rigved is telling 6th and 10th, not possible. Yes, guys, okay. 6th one and 10th one is not possible. Okay. So those guys who claim that you have done the 6th one and the 10th one, please go and cross verify your answers, then you will understand. The sixth one talks about production managers and HR senior managers. So here I have production. For this production, I want only managers. But if it is HR, I want senior managers. Our fourth one is possible. Okay. So other than 6th and 10th, okay, you will be able to do the rest of the things. Now, okay, I think first, second, third, all of you are able to do, right? How do you do the fourth one? Who are ranked between 3 and 7? Okay, which do you use here? Okay, which tool do you use here? How do you tell ranked between 3 and 7? You can use between operator, right? So under your rank, you can click on the drop down here. You have a number filters. You can use this between operator. Okay, so when you use between operator, opens up a dialog box. It's telling greater than or equal to, okay, 3 and less than or equal to 5. 3 and 5, right? 7, is it? What's the values here? Okay, 7. Okay, so when you tell okay, it gives you the output. So I can remove the filters here. I can clear filters from rank. Now coming to the next one, display records who are not ranked between 5 and 8. First one is accounts of production managers. Just click on this. Okay, deselect everything, select accounts, select production. That's all. Hey, no, Priyanshu, Rajesh, okay, that is not the one. I don't want you to deselect, okay? How do you do this, okay? Fifth one, no deselecting. It is not 5 and 8. It is not in between 5 and 8. Very good, okay? So Sheikh Mohammad Raza has given me the output. So in this case, what you people can do is like, okay, you can go to the rank here and then you can go to number filters, custom filter. Okay, here I should tell is less than 5, is it? Or, okay, is greater than 8. It's an OR condition. So you should use OR here. So if your number is less than 5, it will list out. Or if it is greater than 8, it will list out. So you tell okay. So anything not in between 5 and 8 will be listed out. Okay. It's an OR condition there. Okay. Anything else? How do you tell starts with R? Starting with R, name starting with R. Yeah, not in between, correct. So if you want to include 5 and 8, you'll have to tell greater than or equal to, less than equal to. If you don't use equal to, it will exclude 5 and 8. Okay, here you can use begins with R. Okay, go to your name. You have something called as begins with R. And how do you do this top 3 rating? Top 3 ranking? You have top 10 options. Okay, yeah, you can use top 10. So you can go here. You can just tell number filters. You can tell top 10. Okay, here you can use either top or bottom based on whatever, okay, you want to have. And I want 2 items. So you can tell okay. So it gives you. I want 3, right? So I should have used 3 there instead of 2. But based on the rankings, you get there. Okay. A ranking will be created based on the rankings it gives. Yeah, sixth one and 10th one is not possible. So why do you think 6th and 10th is not possible? Guys, why do you think 6th and 10th is not possible? Both filter possible at the same time, but the criteria is whenever you do a filters on more than one column, it is always an and criteria. So if I choose accounts here and executives here, it is accounts and executives. Okay, so whenever you do a filters on more than one column, it is always an and criteria. Your or criteria is not possible between columns. You can't tell accounts or executive. Okay, so between columns, when you have a or criteria, your auto filters fail. So that is the reason you were not able to do 6th one and 10th one. Okay, so this is a limitation of your auto filters. The first and the foremost limitation is the moment you do filters on one set of records, the other tend to hide temporarily, right? So you can see when I choose accounts here, okay, the rest of them are hidden. You can see they are hidden here. Okay, the rest of the records are hidden. Temporarily, they hide. Secondly, or condition is not possible between your columns. This is a limitation of your auto filters. So in order to overcome the limitation, you can learn advanced filters and apply advanced filters. Advanced filters is out of the scope of this particular topic. Okay, so we'll proceed to the next. Yeah, any doubts still here, guys? I hope you have understood filters. Yeah, should we proceed to the next topic? Good. Okay, next we will talk about pivot tables. How many of you know pivots here? How many of you know pivot tables here? Okay, Netrali knows. Ishwar knows, is it? Okay, there are some people who knows. Okay, fine. Rahul knows. Huh? Okay, fine. Now, okay, just observe my screen. Okay, fine. Okay. Just observe my screen. Okay, this is the data what I have. Okay. Here in this data, now you can see I have country, I have salesperson, I have order date, order out, order ID, and order amount. So this data is fine for storage purpose. Now it's a huge database. Now you can see in this database, I have got around 800 records here. So it is fine for storage purpose. But suppose I want to view this data in a different dimension. I may just want to find out what is the total sales made by each salesperson. Now you can see one salesperson, he's got multiple times he's done sales. So once he's done here on this date, and this is the amount. Okay, once again he's done on this date and this is the amount, and like this. Okay, he's got multiple times. Okay, this guy has done the sales. Now I want to find out what is the total sales of each salesperson. There are multiple salespersons here, right? So I want to find out what is the total sales for each salesperson. Suppose, okay, this person, I have to add up all the sales he has made and I want the total. Similarly, this person, I want to find out all the sales what he's made and I want the total. This is one scenario. The next scenario is maybe I want to find out what is an average sales per country. There are two countries here. I want to see UK's what is the average sales, USA what is the average sales. One more scenario. Now you can see each country has got salespersons, right? I just want to find out how many salespersons exist in each country. So UK, how many salespersons are there? USA, how many salespersons are there? Or yet another scenario is I want to find out a number of sales, okay, made by Suyama. On this guy, I just want to see how many sales he's made, not the total sales. I just want to see how many sales he's made. Or maybe month of March 2003, I just want to see what is the total sales made. So you can say I'm giving you different scenarios, right? Okay, so all these scenarios, if you want to work out, pivot tables is your answer. So pivot tables are nothing but interactive tables. They allow you to view your data in a different dimension. You have your data, but you try to view that in a different dimension. So using your pivot tables, you can summarize your data, you can group your data, you can filter your data, you can sort your data, and you can do whatnot with your pivot tables. It's a very great analysis tool. It will help you to analyze your data with different dimensions. Okay, so this is about your pivot table. So I will show you how to create a pivot table. So if you want to create a pivot table, first you need to select your data. Sheikh Mohammad Raza, just pay attention. Okay, so that was what theory I was giving. Henceforth, I'm going to do the practicals. So you need to concentrate on this and follow what I'm trying to tell you. Don't do along with you. Okay, now if you want to create a pivot table, you need to select your data. So what's a shortcut key to select data? I want to select entire data. So the shortcut key to select entire data is Control A. So when I hold my control and press A, you can see entire data gets selected. Okay, so you select your entire data, then you can go to your insert. Under your insert, you have something called as pivot table. So click on the drop down here. It's telling, okay, from ranges and all that stuff. If you just click on pivot table, it's more than enough. You don't have to go into these details also. Just click on pivot tables. It opens up a dialog box here. Now, this dialog box, first thing it's telling, okay, select your table or range. What's a table or range? Since I did Control A, now you can see the address is coming automatically here. Sample salesperson's report is the name of the sheet, and the address is A12 E200. Okay, so this is a data from where your pivot tables are picking up. Now here, where I want to place a pivot table, whether I want to place it in new sheet or an existing sheet. So if I tell new sheet, a new sheet will be created and your pivots will be placed there. Suppose I don't want to create a new sheet. I want it within some existing sheet. Then you can tell existing sheet. Now you can see this is enabled. So you can go and select some cell address. Okay, so your pivot tables will be created from this position onwards. Okay, here give only one cell address. So right now I don't want existing sheet. I will just tell new sheet. Okay. Now, if I tell okay, now you can see a new sheet is created. Okay, it's called a sheet 1. A new sheet is created and your pivots are placed here. Okay, so this is actually a pivot table report. And here towards the right hand side, you can see these are the headings what I have in my database. So I have headings like country, salesperson, order date, order ID, order amount, right? So these are the headings what I have in my database. And these are the layouts here. Okay, now those people, I think most of you are new to pivot table, right? So I'll suggest you one thing. So before you could start the pivot table, till you get used to pivot table, you can change the look and feel of your pivot table. This will just help you understand your pivot table better. This is not mandatory, okay? But this will really help you to understand your pivot table better. So what you guys can do, you can right click anywhere on the pivot table and you can just click on this pivot table options. So click on pivot table options. It opens up a dialog box here and you have an option which tells display. Click on the display and change it into classic pivot table layout. Okay, check this. This is actually very beneficiary. Okay, you get to understand your pivot tables better. So I suggest, okay, till you really feel, yes, I know everything about pivot tables, you can do this. So if I tell okay, you can see the look and feel of your pivot table changes. I'll just note down here, right click on the pivot table. Okay, then pivot table options. Okay, then I can tell display tab. Okay, then classic pivot table layout. One more thing you can see, when I click outside the pivot table, your pivot listings are not visible here, right? So this is also not visible. The moment I click on the pivot table, you can see you get pivot table fields here. Okay, and you can also see some extra tools here, pivot table, analyze and design. If I click outside, those are not visible. So these are all context sensitivity items. They come with relevant to your selection. So the moment I select my pivot table, now you can see these items automatically appear. Okay, Manohar will talk about that later on. Okay, so now I have my data here. Okay, and these are the layouts here. So what I can do is I can drag any of these and drop it to the layouts here. Okay, so if I drop it to the rows here, suppose I drag one of the headings here, and if I drop it to the row here, the data will come here as row fields. Okay, if I drag it to the column here, okay, it will come here as column fields. If I drag it to the filters, it will come here as filter pages. Here you can see the filters happening. And if I drag it to the value here, you will be able to see it here. Okay, so out of these three values, the most important layout here where all your calculations take place. So anything to do with calculations, it should always be under your value. Suppose you want to do a sum of something, or you want to find the maximum value, or you want to find the minimum value, or you want to count. Okay, so anything to do with calculations, it should always be under your values. If you wish, you can have your row, filter and column blanks. Okay, but your value should not be blank. Value should have at least one item. Preferably, it should be a numerical item. Okay, so with this intro, let me start creating a pivot table. So before I could create a pivot table, I am going to give you a scenario. The scenario is like this. I want to view my pivot table where I want to see country-wise all the salesperson and what is the total sales, okay, he or she has made. I want to see for each country all the salespersons and their total sales amount. So for this scenario, what are all the fields involved here? What are the fields required here? I may have any number of fields, okay, but I don't have to select all the fields. I can choose the fields. Now, for my given scenario, what do you think the fields required here are? The scenario is like this. I want to see country-wise salesperson and their total order amount. One is country, then you can have salesperson and then the order amount. Okay, these are the three required items here for the scenario what I have given. Now, among these three, what should come to the value? Order amount should come to the value. Order amount should come to the value because we want sum of order amount. For each salesperson, I want to add up the order amount, right? I want to do the summation of your order amount. And I told you, anything to do with calculations, it should be under your values, right? So what I do is, I click on this order amount, I drag and drop it to the value. Now see, the moment I drag and drop, you get a grand total here. Can you see a pivot table has changed? You get a grand total. This grand total is nothing but, okay, this total here. I just write one function here called a subtotal. Okay, so I want a sum of this. Okay, sum is nothing but your 9 here. Okay, comma, and I want the sum of all this. So this is a reference. So if I close my bracket and tell enter, now you can see this is a grand total. This is a total of all this. This is a sum of all this. Okay, so this is what is getting reflected here. Okay, understood, right, guys? Here, guys, did you understand? I just dragged the order amount, okay, to the value. Now you can see the grand total of your order amount, the sum of order amount. Here you can see it is telling sum of order amount. So it is going to add entire order amount, okay, and it is showing me here. Next, I want my salesperson, right? So what I do, I drag my salesperson and drop it to the column here. So I'm dragging my salesperson from the top and I'm putting it into the columns. Now, the moment I drop it to the columns, now you can see salespersons are visible column-wise. You can see each salesperson, okay, what is the sales he has made? Each salesperson, total sales. But generally, suppose I give you a piece of paper. I give you everybody a piece of paper and I'll tell, okay, please jot down your names. So in that case, do you guys write like this or do you guys write like this? If I ask you to jot down the names. So you all tend to put one below the other, right? Not one next to each other. None of us, I don't think none of us will write names like this. So we'll put one below the other, right? In the vertical sense. So this is a comfort zone for us. So because of that type of comfortness, what I have, I may not want it in my column. Okay. So what I do, I just drag out of the column, and now you can see I'm dropping into the row. So what I'm doing is from my column, I'm just holding it. I am dropping it into the row. So I'm removing from the column and I'm dropping it into the row. So the moment I drop, now you can see salespersons are visible in row wise. You can see in each row, each salesperson, what is the total sales he or she has made. Each salesperson sales. And this is a grand total. So this, what is this sales? This sales is like this. Now suppose I go here, I'll tell Control A. I'll go to data. I'll tell filters. If I filter out for this guy Buchanan, okay, this is all his data. Now this is his total. Okay, so this is what is getting reflected here. Similarly, like this for each salesperson, okay, a filter is created and the summation has been done, and whatever, okay, is a summation for that person, you can see that data is getting displayed here. Now this is a grand total again. Okay. Next, I want my country also. So what I do, I drag my country and drop it to the column. Now you can see countries are visible in the column wise. Now you can observe one thing. When you click on this, now you can see there are lots of blank areas here, right? So this blank areas, because at any given point of time, one salesperson can belong to only one country. He can't belong to both the countries. So you can see in each and every row, there are some blank areas. Maybe because of this type of data, I may not want it in the columns. So I will drag it out of the columns and drop it to the row here. Now I'm going to drag my country from the column and I drop it to the row. Okay, so the moment I drop it, now you can see, okay, you can see each salesperson, which country, each salesperson, which country. So you can see the salesperson is coming first and which country he belongs to, and you can also see the totals. Now, when you see this, it's looking so cluttery, right? Actually, the information is not very clear. You can see it's so cluttery. That's because when you have multiple items in any of these three layouts, okay, preferably you should put grouped item first, followed by an individual item. Now, when I talk about salesperson, one salesperson belongs to only one country. So salesperson is an individual item. But when I talk about a country, one country can have multiple salesperson, right? You can have in multiple salesperson. USA can have multiple salesperson. So your country is a grouped item. So put your grouped item before your individual item. So what I do, I drag this country before my salesperson. Okay. So I'm just putting country first and then the salesperson. Now see how the view changed. You can see country wise. You can see for that country, these are the salespersons and these are the sales amount, and you can also see country total here. So don't you think this is a wow display? It's talking better about my data. It is analyzing my data. Isn't this wow? Or I can also take my country to the filter. So I can click on my country and okay, put it to the filter. The moment I drag my country to the filter, okay, now you can see country comes here as filters. So in the drop down, you can filter between UK and USA. So if I choose UK, you can see only UK's details you'll be able to see. Or if I click on USA, you can see only USA's details. Or if I click all, I'll be able to see all the salesperson. Here, the only limitation being, when I choose all, I'll not know which person belongs to which country. Okay. So for the time being, I'm going to drag my country back to the row. I feel this is, okay, looks good. So I'm going to retain this look. So it is up to you people as to go and select the layout. So based on your data, based on the look and feel you want, okay, relevant to your data, you can select these layouts. So layouting is up to you. So you can do some trial and error also, as long as okay, you feel that layouting looks good, you can do this. So understood this? Understood about the layouts? Yeah. Shall we go to the next one? So till now what we saw, we just created a pivot table and we dragged and dropped the columns, the headers here into the different layouts. So I told you it is your wish. Any which way you want to view your data, you can go ahead and view. There is no hard and fast rule. Okay. Now, next we will talk about these things. So what are these? What are these? These are supposed to be sum of order amount, right? So you can see Buchanan, okay, you can see this is a data what is got. The sum of this is so much. Now suppose I'm not interested in the sum. I want to find out what is the maximum sales he's made. Okay, so this is what I want. I want to find out what is the maximum sales of this particular person. Okay, so max will give me the maximum value, right? So his maximum sales is so much. I don't want the sum. I want to see the max. Or maybe I want the minimum sales. So if I tell min, and if I choose this, I get the minimum value, right? So minimum value is 12.5, maximum value is so much. Now I'm not interested in sum. I want to see what is the maximum sales, okay, this particular salesperson has done. So in that case, what you can do, you can change this function. You have a sum here, right? So instead of sum, you can change it into any of the functions. So click on the drop down here. Okay, you can click on value field settings. Okay, then you can see you have lots of functions here. So you can change it into any of the functions here. So I'm going to change it into max. So if I tell okay, now you can see this is the maximum sales. Yes, for Buchanan, this is a okay. Sorry, I can't do like this. For maximum sales, I have to use subtotal only because hidden rows also it should consider. Okay, so here max function is supposed to be max is 4. So I can use 4, comma. Okay, when I close my bracket, so this is a value. So this is what is getting reflected here. Okay. Now, guys, don't do along with me. Please listen to me. Okay. If you don't listen to me, okay, you will not understand what is happening. Okay, so don't do along with me. I'll give you time to practice. First, you understand. If you understand, then you will be able to do. Okay, so I change this to max. Similarly, if I want minimum value also, I can drag my order amount into the value field settings. I'm repeating the same thing I'm doing, Rahul. Okay, just observe. So click on the drop down here. Okay, click on value field settings and you can change the settings to min. So previously, instead of sum, I had made it as max. Now I made it as min. So when I tell okay, now you can see I get maximum and minimum. Right? So like this, you can change any of the functions. So when you click on the drop down here, value field settings, these are all the functions which are available. You can go and set any of the functions. Another method to do this is you can right click here and you can tell, okay, summarize values by, and you can use any of the functions here. You can use sum, count, average, max, min, product, or anything. Okay. So I repeated, Rahul. Whatever I did prior to this, okay, I just repeated that. So till now, what we saw was, we saw the layouting, just drag and drop, okay, here. Layouting we saw. Secondly, we saw how to change the functions. Value field settings, change the functions. These two things we saw in the pivot table. What last portion? This is the last portion what we did. Okay, so click on the drop down here, value field settings, and change the functionality. So I changed into minimum and maximum. I dragged it twice. First order amount I did twice. One I changed it into max, the other one I changed it into min. Okay, if you want one more function, you have to drag it once again. Suppose I want to get the count, then drag order amount once again and change it into count. Okay. So before we do some exercises, okay, one more option I want to show you. Okay, just prior to this, we learned functions. We learned filters, right? The same filters are applicable here also. So when you click on the drop down here, now you can see you can filter out between UK, USA. You also have value filters. You can use this. So here also for the salesperson, okay, we learned all that. Whatever you have learned, so you can go here, value field setters. Now suppose I'm not interested in all the salesperson. I am interested in only in top 2 salesperson who's made the maximum sales. So in that case, you can click on the drop down here, go to value filters, then you can just tell top 10. Okay, here you can use either top or bottom. Top, okay, I want 2 items. So I want top 2 salesperson who made the maximum sales. So I'll tell top 2 and you can use max or min here based on the maximum. So when you tell okay, now you can see for each country, top 2 salesperson who's done the maximum sales. Right? If you want to remove the filter, you can go here. You can tell clear filters from salesperson. Now, if you want to convert this to a chart, okay, guys, if you have queries, I will answer your queries. So please, okay, pay attention here. Your queries will be answered. Don't worry about that. Okay. So when you, if you want to convert, you have already created a pivot table. You want to convert this to a chart. So click on the pivot table anywhere and you have pivot table options based on the different versions. Okay, this tab can be different names, whatever name it is, don't worry about the name. Okay, the first tab about regarding your pivot tables, okay, you can click on that. You have an option which tells pivot chart. Just click on the pivot chart. Okay, it opens up a dialog box. Then you can choose, okay, whichever chart type you want to have. There are multiple chart types. Go and explore on them, start working on them. So select a particular chart and tell okay. Now you can see you get a chart based on the pivot table. Now you can see how beautiful the segmentation is happening, right? Now you can see UK, there are 2 salesperson, USA. Actually, when you create a chart, these segmentations, okay, it's very difficult to do. Okay, but here automatically those segmentations happen. Now, if you don't want the filter here, you can also remove the filter from here. Click here, or you can just clear filters from salesperson. Now you can see here also it removes the filters, right? So with relevant to pivot tables, we saw how to create pivot table, how to drag and drop this into the layouts, how to change the functions here, right? And then we also saw how to do the filters here. And then we did how to convert to a chart. Okay, so these are the things what we learned with relevant to pivot tables. You guys, okay, can go and try these exercises. You can try this pivot tables one. Okay, practice one you can do. Don't do practice two. Each pivot table, different questions. Okay. Yeah. If you want to create a chart, somebody wants to know how to create a chart, click on the pivot table. Under your pivot table analyze, you have pivot chart. Just click on the pivot chart and then select any which chart you want. Okay, suppose I want a bar chart, okay, column chart or a bar chart. You can just go to a bar chart. Okay, so bar chart, and when you tell okay, you can see you create a chart based on the pivot table. Yeah. So if you want a pivot table in the same sheet, I think that is your query, I guess, your Bharat, right? You wanted a pivot table within the same sheet. In that case, you can go to, when you select your data, when you tell Control A, when you select your data, you can go to your insert pivot table, and here you can tell existing sheet and select some address. Here you should use existing sheet. I hope your query is answered, Yuva. Okay, if you tell okay, you can see the pivots are placed here. Guys, one more thing, okay, please. One last thing, okay, just observe my screen. Now, suppose, okay, I have created a pivot table here. Okay, now I make some changes to my data. Suppose I just go here. Now you can see I'll go and change this Buchanan's data. So I'll select all his data. I'll change his data to 0. So what is Buchanan's maximum amount now? What is this guy's maximum amount? I've changed everything to 0. So his maximum amount is 0. His minimum amount? Minimum is also 0, right? Now you can see sum is also 0, maximum is also 0, minimum is also 0. Now when I go here, it should show, right? So is it showing? It is still showing you the old values. It is not showing you the new values. So in this case, if you want it to reflect with the new value, you have to right click and tell refresh. So when you tell refresh, now you can see it shows you the latest information. So if at all your data changes, you want those changes within the pivot table, you need to refresh. Okay. So the moment you refresh, it will pick up the latest data and it will show you, or else it will still retain the old data. Yeah, now go ahead and try it out. Okay, once you finish, okay, please let me know. Rahul, I am not aware of that, yaar. You go check in your Google, okay? You about your RAM storage space, you know. It's out of my memory, actually. Yeah, Yamini, I use subtotal because when you do a sum, it will always add the hidden rows also. Okay. So, when I do a filter, your sum will pick up the hidden rows also. But when I use subtotal, it will not pick up the hidden rows. It will just show you the visible cells only. That's the reason I used subtotal. Yeah, Ishwar, you try. If you get, well and good. No, scheduled refresh is not there, Lokesh. You have to, but when you start your Excel, probably you can do a settings that, okay, it refreshes all your pivot tables. How to remove chart? How to save sheet 1 within the same file? Just click on sheet 1 in the sense. This is automatically created. Yeah? When you click on plus, you can see the next sheet gets created. It is sheet 2. So when I tell sheet 3, so this comes automatically. So the moment I create, since I've named them into a different sheets, okay, so sheet 1 is not there. So it is creating as sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Okay, how to remove chart? You can't drag a sigma value. You can just click on that sigma. If you want to remove a chart, just click on that chart and delete from your keyboard. Chart, select your date, click on the pivot table. Under your pivot table analyze, you have pivot chart. Just click and you will get it. Select, click on the chart and delete from your keyboard. Click on the chart, select your chart, delete from the keyboard. Okay, your chart vanishes. If you want it in a different sheet, you have to specify Control A, you tell insert, pivot table, whether you want it in a new sheet or an existing sheet. New sheet will create a new sheet. Existing sheet, you have to specify which sheet you want. Harita. You have to change, Martin. What shortcut, what changing sheets? I didn't understand YSJK. You have to change it into min. You have to change it. Click on the drop down here. Okay, Martin. Drop down, value field settings, and then you have to change here. Excel today is the last day. Totally 4 sessions for Excel, 8 hours. A different mentor. Kamalnath, nobody is talking, that's why no voice. I want you to do the exercises. Why should I raise my voice when you're doing exercises here? No, I want you to try these exercises. Try it. Once you finish, let me know. Rahul, did you finish the exercises? Then do the exercises. How will you know, okay, whether you have understood or not? Unless and until you do the exercises, you will not understand. You will not even come to know, okay, whether you have a doubt or you don't have a doubt. So just because you don't have a laptop, you want to rush, is it, Rahul? Please wait, yeah? Let the others finish. Okay. So we'll proceed, okay, once most of them have completed the exercises. So somebody is suggesting use Office on mobile. Yeah, if you have a huge data which your Excel cannot fit, then probably you can go in with your Power Query and Power Pivot. So Power Query and Power Pivots are used. If you want to create a pivot table, wherein you have a external data much bigger than the number of rows, number of columns what you have, you can go in with your Power Pivot. So Power Query, Power Pivot are used for such things. Yeah, order. Yes, it is order amount only, Manohar. Minimum, drag your order amount. Iridon, you drag your order amount into the value, then value field settings and change it into min. Yeah, number means you can drag anything and make it as count. Question 9 is top 2 salesperson who's made the highest sales in all countries. So you can put countries into the filter and make it as all. And I want salespersons. Highest sales is the total number of sales. Yes, if your data changes and if you want those changes in the pivot table, you should refresh. Automatically, it will not. So Sakshi, only if you refresh, you will see the change data in the pivot table. Yeah, you can do Excel in mobile app also, Srinivasulu. But how comfortably you do, okay, that's a question. Fifth question is who's made the maximum sales in UK? So I want maximum sales, country filter for UK, and who made salesperson top 1. So for salesperson, you should do top 1, country filter for UK, and then order amount, make it as max. Maximum of order amount we. Yamini, you do the next one. I will show, all at once. If you're not able to do a certain thing, leave that for the time being. Go proceed with the next one. Okay, then when I come back and show, probably you can go ahead and try them out. So I will show all, but after you people trying. Raju, you can go and check, okay, yesterday's and day before yesterday's video. There, okay, demonstration is given where you can download the files from. Okay. Total number of sales, V is 8th one. Okay, no, total sales is, okay, amount again. Yeah, you can use top one, Manohar. Top, Srinath, you have top 10 option, right? Okay, you can click on that and make it as 2. Yes, Anushka, 7th one is count. Highest to sales is total order amount only. It is not maximum number of orders, it is total amount you can choose. No, don't do practice 2, Manohar. I'm not taught you how to do practice 2. So that requires, okay, a bit more information. Yeah, guys, today's attendance link has been shared. So you can mark your attendance. I don't think you have weekends, Srinivasulu. You can go and check the schedule, right? Okay, how many of you finished? Filter option will not be available for value fields, Srinath. So filters will be available here. Okay, for values, you don't have filters. Now you can see for this, you will have filters. When you tell value filters, okay, here there are two types of filters here, right? So when I click on the salesperson, here you can see value filters and label filters. When I tell label filters, this will be relevant to the labels here. Value filters will be relevant to the data here. Okay, but you can't see filters here. You can see only in the row values or the column values. Okay, so you want some more time to practice, guys? Or okay, should I go ahead and show you how to do? Okay, so I'll show you how to do. So each question I'll show you how to do. Guys, observe my screen. You can also have a recordings, right? So if you feel okay, you need some more time, after me showing, you can go back and check the recordings. Okay, so I'll show you at a stretch. Everything else at a stretch I will show you. So if you guys feel okay, you wanted me to go a little bit slower, you can go and check the recordings. That's because we have limited time. Okay, I want to show you a few more options with relevant to them. So because of the time constraint, okay, I will show you all at once. Ishwar, there is a recording. Okay, first one, I think all of you would have done this, right? The one which I demonstrated. So what you can do is, you can do Control A to select your data. My first one tells maximum and minimum order amount for each country salesperson wise. So I'll tell insert, pivot table. I will tell new sheet. Okay, I'll tell okay. So you can see a new sheet will be created here. Okay, you can change the look and feel of a pivot table by telling right click, pivot table options, display, classic. Okay, I told you people do go ahead and do this. Now I can drag my country. Below country, I'm going to drag salesperson, and then I'm going to drag order amount. I want maximum and min, so you can drag your order amount 2 times. So first one, I'm going to change it into max, value field settings, max, okay. Second one, I'm going to change it into min. Click on the drop down, value field settings, min. So this is the one which I demonstrated. Yeah? Are you all clear with the first query? Guys? Okay. The second one tells total number of orders per country salesperson wise. So what I can do is I can make a copy of this and make changes also. Either you can create a new pivot table, or you can make the copy of this pivot table and then you can change. You can't copy part of your pivot table. You should select entire pivot table and then copy. So you can do Control A selects entire pivot table. Now I can tell Control C, Control is for C for copy. Click here and tell Control V, entire pivot table gets copied. Now I just want to get the count of that. My question tells number of orders. Okay, so I can remove this order amount. Okay, I drag and put it outside. You can see it vanishes. Just click on them, drag outside. You get a text mark. I want order count of order ID. So you can use order ID, you can getting sum, just click on the drop down, value field settings and make it as count. So you get number of orders here. No, you don't get it like that. Okay, you get the total only. That's one thing. Okay, that's one thing about it. So in such a scenario, what you can do, you can remove them. This is actually not right now. So this is giving maximum of this. This is giving maximum of this. You can remove that grand total and subtotals. So if you want to remove, you can go to your design here and you can tell subtotals do not show. If you want, you can remove the grand total also. Okay. Yeah. This was relevant to the query asked by V. Okay. Now, this is the second thing. You just have to do count of order ID. Is this clear? Guys, second one is clear? Okay. So the third one is like this, average amount for each country. So I'll tell Control A, I've already selected my data. I'll tell insert, pivot table. I'll tell existing sheet. I want in the previous sheet only. So here I'll choose existing sheet. Now I'll click on the sheet 4 and click on some cell here and tell OK. You can see a pivot is placed here. So the question tells average amount for each country. So I want country and okay, order amount. And here the function should be average. One more method is to change here is click here, right click, and you can tell summarize value by average. So here also you can see it changed to average. This is another method to do. So you have a country, you have average order amount. Clear? Coming to the next one, total order amount for Peacock only. So I'll tell insert, pivot table, existing sheet, sheet 4, over here, total order amount for Peacock only. So Peacock is in salesperson, total order amount sum. Here I want only Peacock. So click on the drop down, deselect everybody, just select Peacock and tell OK. So you get Peacocks. Yes, is it right? Okay, so we'll go to the next one. Who has made the maximum sales in UK? Insert, pivot table, existing sheet. I'll go to sheet 4. I'll click here and tell OK. Who's made the maximum sales in UK? UK is in country and salesperson. Okay, and then I want order amount and I want max of this. So click on the drop down, value field settings and max. Now this is giving everything. So what I can do, I can change the look and feel of my pivot table. Right click, pivot table options, display, classic. Okay, I've changed it into classic now. Now I want only for UK. So click on the drop down here, remove USA. And here also, I want only one person who's made the maximum sales. The question tells, okay, who's made the maximum sales? I want only one person's name who's made the maximum sales. So for that, what I can do, I can click on the drop down here, value filters, you have top 10, right? So click on top 10 and you can choose 1 here. Instead of 10, make it as 1. When you tell OK, so you can see King is a person who's made the maximum sales. So it's answering my question, right? So whatever question you're asking, it's asking. Okay, should we proceed to the next, guys? Okay. Next one is, which salesperson has made the highest sales? Insert, pivot table, I'll tell existing sheet, sheet 4. Which salesperson has made the highest sales? So salesperson and then sum of order amount. Here, value field settings, top 1. Okay, so this will give you highest sales. It is Peacock who's made the highest sales. Right? Is it right? Coming to the next one. Which country has made more number of sales? Okay, so I can go to existing. Which country has made more number of sales? So what should come to the row? Country should come to the row. And I want number of sales. So you can use anything here. Okay, order date, order ID, and you have to make it as count. So value field settings, make it as count. But I want only one person who's made the highest sales. So here you can do top one. Click on the drop down, value filters, top one. So this answers my question. So it is USA who's made the more number of sales. Instead of this count of order amount, okay, you can change the heading also here. So you can tell, okay, number of sales. So this makes sense, right? So you can change the headings also. So this will actually make sense now. Now anybody who sees will know, okay, that USA has made, okay, 584 sales. What is the total sales for each country? This is a simple one. Total sales for each country. So I want country there. And then total sales is sum. That's all. Prithviraj. This recordings will be available, Prithviraj. Okay, in case if you have some doubts, you can go back and refer to the recordings. If we need number of sales, Rahul, you have to do count. Instead of sum, you can make it as count. Okay, now last one. So what I suggest you guys is, you guys go ahead and try this once. Okay, don't look at the recording. Now, anyway, I've given you an idea, right? You just observe. I'm sure, okay, you would have picked up some things. So go back, try this exercise once again. In case if you don't get it, then refer the recordings. Okay, so that will help you actually learn. Okay, next, last one is top 2 salesperson. Immediately after the session, the recordings will be available, KP. The top 2 salesperson who's made the highest sales in all countries. So I'll tell insert, the last one, pivot table. Okay, existing sheet. Okay. You can take country to the filter, salespersons, and you can tell order amount. So the question asks is top 2 salesperson who's made the highest sales in all countries. Okay, so here sum of order amount is okay. Click here, value filters, top 2. I want only 2 persons. So either you can do this. Now you can see in the filter, you can have all. Here I did top 2. So or you can remove from the filters also. You can remove the country also. So you can see it's the same thing. Or if you put your country to the filter and you can make it as all also. Either way, it is the same. Okay. So whether irrespective of whether you want country, all country means country is not required. Or you can put your country into the filter and make it as all. Yeah, this is the basics of your pivot table. Yeah, guys, okay, any doubts still here? Country wise top 2 only I did, right? Here, see, country I have top 2 here. Value filters, top 2. If you want UK, US separately, then drag your order amount here. Then you can see for UK and USA, you're getting it here. Amit. So, since this question tells all country, I can drag it to the filter. If you drag it to the row, you can get for UK and USA. Okay, I'll show you one more option. Okay, since we have a few more minutes. Guys, I'll show you one more option. Are you all ready? Okay, here, now you can see, okay, I have, I'll just copy this pivot table, okay, Control A, Control C. I'll create a new sheet. I'll just copy this pivot table to one sheet. Okay, I'll copy this also to another sheet. I'll tell Control A, Control C. Okay, Control V. So I just copy this to another sheet. Now what I do is, okay, I just remove the country from both. I'll just remove the country here. This also, I'll just remove the country. So I just created two pivot tables. One pivot table where I have salesperson, order amount or minimum order amount, maximum order amount. Another I have, okay, where I have total number of sales, okay, he or she has made. So I have two pivot tables now. Now, both, okay, you can see I removed the country, filter country. Now, if I want to add a filter, okay, as a country, I can use slicers. Slicers are nothing but visually appealing filters. So the advantage of using slicers is one filter you can apply for both the pivot tables. So what I do if I want to create a slicer, slicers are nothing but filters. If I want to create a slicer, click anywhere on the pivot table, and then under your pivot table analyze, you have something called as insert slicer. So just click on insert slicer. It opens up a dialog box here. These are all the headers what I have in my database. So I want to create a filter for country. So just click on the country here. When you tell OK, now you can see you get a country filter. So you can do any changes you want to make here. So probably, okay, what I'll do is I'll insert some, okay, column here. So I'll increase the column width here. I'll just put my country here. Okay, I'll just drag this, sorry. I'll just drag this also here. Okay. So I'm just modifying this, okay, a little bit. Now you can see when I tell UK, only this is changing. This is not changing. USA, but I want both. Okay. So in that case, what you should do is, first of all, you should know, okay, what is the name of the pivot table here. So when I click on this, under your pivot table analyze, this gives you the name of the pivot table. So the name of my pivot table here is pivot table 12. Similarly, when I click on this pivot table also, okay, if I go to pivot table analyze, click on the drop down here. This is called as pivot table 13. Now, this is called as pivot table 12. This is called as pivot table 13. Now, when I am doing a filter, okay, you can see only 12 is changing. 13 is not changing. So I have to associate this to this also. In such a scenario, what you can do, you can right click anywhere on your slicer. This is your slicer. Right click anywhere on your slicer. You get an option which tells report connections. So just click on report connections. These are all the pivot tables what you have. I think this pivot table is called as 13, right? So select this. Now you can see there is a check mark for 12 and just put a check mark for 13 also. That means this slicer is going to use 12 and 13. So when I tell OK, you can see if I tell UK, both are changing. So I have one filter for more than one pivot table. This is how your dashboards are created. So you want to remove the filter, you can remove. If you want to make changes to your slicers, you get slicer option here. If you want, you can change the color, look and feel. You can change the color. You can do whatnot. Follow that. Yeah, give this a quick try. Then we can summarize for the day. Yeah, magic. MAM is best or okay? Excel is best. Shabazz. I think tomorrow you might have SQL. I'm not very sure. Okay, just go back and check. Thank you, Dr. Siddiqui. Yesterday also, okay, you showed lots of appreciation. Huh? Thanks, Siddiqui. Dr. Siddiqui. Hey, I thought this was only for students. How come doctor is also joined? I wanted to ask you yesterday. Thank you, Sheikh Mohammed. Oh, so it's faculty, is it? Thank you. No wonder, okay, you people are showing so much of appreciation here. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Monol is also joined. Okay. No, I don't think weekends you guys have class. Thank you guys, okay, for all your appreciation. Okay, should we summarize for the day before we talk about all this? Tushar, even I would love to teach you more, yeah. Pratik, only ExcelR don't teaches, yeah. ExcelR teaches everything as a package. Tomorrow, I think you have. Thank you, Dr. Siddiqui. I think yesterday also you gave me this comment. Thanks a lot. SQL, hey, there is a better mentor for ExcelR here. No, I don't think Saturday, Sunday you guys have. I think I've answered this query, okay, a number of times. I don't think Saturday and Sunday you do have. Okay, should we summarize for the day, guys? Tomorrow, I think you have SQL. The last sheet and all that, okay, you people can try. This you can try. Okay, we'll summarize for the day, guys. Any doubts still here? Okay, so today we started with, okay, count and count family functions that yesterday, whatever we did, right? Okay, exercises I had given you, we did that. Then we spoke about filters. We spoke about shortcuts before doing the auto filters. We spoke about how to get shortcuts. Then we also spoke about limitations of your autofilters, what is possible, what is not possible, what to expect from an autofilter. Then we spoke about pivot tables. With relevant to pivot tables, we spoke about layouting, functions, filters, refresh, pivot chart, slices. Okay, so thus we come to the end of Excel session. I hope you all enjoyed the session, guys. Same time, Satish, tomorrow same time, 7 to 9. Okay. Thanks, guys. I really enjoyed being you people, with you people. Huh? And thank you for all the beautiful comments you have given me. I don't know, Tushar, you tell me when to meet for the next Excel. Thank you, Rawat. I don't know, okay, why this course is free. Okay, actually, they wanted to introduce you people to data analysis. Okay, what is data analysis? They had to give you an introduction. Okay, that's why this course has been conducted. So that, okay, if you feel, yes, you are interested in data analysis, probably you can pursue your career, okay, as a data analyst. So to give you an intro to what is data analysis, this course has been given to you guys. Yeah, tomorrow you have SQL. Practice 2 grouping is used, Atish Jain. We'll not send you recordings, KP. You will have to log in and the recordings will be there. And you can go through the recordings. Thank you, Amit. Yeah. Yeah, you can leave, guys. My mother tongue is Kannada, Rahul. I'm a Kannadiga. Ishwar, once it starts, okay, they'll let you know. Thank you, Pragya. No, Saturday, Sunday, no class, Sanjay. Thanks, Varalakshmi. Yeah, Ishwar. Slicers are situated under your pivot table. When you click on pivot table, when you go to pivot table analyze, you can see insert slicer here. Okay, Srinath. I'm not supposed to share my number or my email ID. Okay, it's a strict no from ExcelR, Dr. Siddiqui. I'm sorry for that. Huh? Yeah, these videos are available and YouTube link also is available. I'm not aware of that, Tushar. Yeah, macros is a huge topic, Redmi. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you. Okay. So Yamini is also Kannadiga. Good, Yamini. Really not we. Okay, this is not to showcase. Okay, what we teach. It's more of okay, showing you what is data analysis. Okay, what is data analysis and how you people can get really benefited from doing data analysis is what we want to showcase. It's not about us. It's all about you guys. Yes, Manohar, I'm in Bangalore. You can log in, okay, and you'll be able to see it in the dashboard, Monisha. The schedule is available in the dashboard. No, we don't have a different. Many people are asking me if I have a different channel on Telegram. I don't think we have any channel on Telegram, or if at all there is also. I'm sorry, I'm not aware of that. Thank you, KP. No, Dr. Siddiqui, I'm in Bangalore. Thank you, Thakur. Anabia. Anabia. I hope I got your name right. Anabia. Nice name, yeah, different name. Yes, Manohar, I'm in Bangalore. Hey, many of you are asking this question, okay, if I have a different channel on Telegram. No, I'm not aware of that. I don't have. Keep it confidential, KP. Thank you, Srividya. The whole schedule you can find, Monisha, in the dashboard. Good night, guys. Thank you. Yeah, Rahul, you can register for SQL also. Okay. No, macros actually not required, Ramya. Okay. Really not somebody has shared me a mail, I think from YouTube. Is macro required for data analysis? No, not required. Even without macros, you people can do a great job with Excel. Yeah, Ram Tulsi. Yeah, Rahul, you can register. Okay, thank you for the suggestion, Neha. Yeah, you people can leave, yeah. And thank you once again, okay, for all your appreciations. I stay in Indranagar, Manohar. Okay, so guys, I take a leave of you. Thank you.